For more on the ongoing trial, let's welcome in now Ron Chapman, a federal defense attorney. Rob, we'll start with you. Ron, excuse me. Just the reaction to the medical examiner's testimony. What kind of impact will it have on the trial?
Well, first, I have to say that I don't think this case ever should have been charged, and I feel that an acquittal is on the horizon here. The medical examiner's testimony is not going to help the attorney general there at all. Here's the deal. She testified that he died from the chokehold. The reality is he had K2 in his system, which is going to sort of exacerbate those injuries, but that's not where the defense really is going to hang their case. First, I imagine that they're going to put the defendant on the stand to explain the situation and how it went. But second, and the most important thing, is the drugs were causing him to act erratically every time he tried to give up on the chokehold, putting the defendant in a very untenable situation where a very violent person could get violent again and cause people injury. The people on the train were very scared, and that was enough for him to try to restrain this individual. I think we get an acquittal out of this case.
All right.
Yeah, we've talked about the medical examiner's testimony, but Ron, to that point, those other witnesses and how they felt and how they described how they felt even in that moment from the body cam footage, how does that play into the case?
It's going to be very helpful for the defense. I think that there was a gentleman who testified that he wasn't there when the purported victim was acting violent, but he was there later trying to help get him up. I think that might have hurt the defense a little bit, but there are a lot of other people who seem to say that they were in fear of bodily harm. And listen, as a former United States Marine, I've been through the same training as the defendant. I know that he went through the Marine Corps martial arts program, knows how to hold an appropriate chokehold and the amount of pressure to apply. He was a sergeant. That is something that is trained, and I imagine he would have done it the right way, and it appears based on the video that he did do it the right way. And I hope that they have an expert who will testify about that training and about that application of the use of force to ensure that at least the jury gets to hear
Ron,
why he...
That did happen. There is testimony from another witness that took the stand last week, a combat instructor in the Marine Corps who trained Penny on several types of holds, and that is trainer Joseph Kaballer, saying Penny may have applied the chokehold improperly. He testified, this is a quote, testified that photos seem to show Mr. Penny trying to use a blood choke. A proper blood choke cuts off oxygen to the brain in as little as 8 seconds, but as the men struggled, the hold could have turned into an air choke, which takes longer to render a person unconscious, unquote. Can you talk to that, Ron?
Yeah. I have to say that the could have turned into an air choke is not going to be very helpful for the prosecution in this case, because the reality is that it didn't turn into an air choke. You can see that on the video, and I can recognize that. And I imagine there will be another instructor, probably somebody who outranks that individual, who would be able to have more experience in the Marine Corps martial arts program to be able to identify that, testifying for the defense. And my understanding is they open up perhaps on Monday. So maybe we'll hear from them straight out the gate, and then hear from the defendant as to how he applied that choke. I really do think he needs to testify in this case, and his attorneys have indicated he's ready.
Yeah. Ron Chapman, Shondell Summer, thank you both for your expertise.
Thank you.
Thank you.